Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am so excited about this video today. I actually had a lot of requests for this video even after I already planned to film it, because I've been posting a little bit on my Instagram about how I got a brand new MacBook. I'll tell you exactly why I had to get one in just a second. But as I was showing the way that I was setting it up with complete personalization and customization for organization, I had a lot of people requesting me to show exactly how I was setting up. So I thought, what better time to do a what's on my MacBook. I am extremely proud of the way that I have set my MacBook up. I've never had a MacBook that has felt more personalized and everything is just exactly where I need it to help me run my business, to help me study, to help me do all of the things that I'm doing here with YouTube and social media. So if you're someone who kind of maybe feels a little bit like your MacBook is just all over the place, or your computer is all over the place, and you need a little bit of guidance about the best ways to set it up and personalize it so it feels totally yours and on brand, if you are a brand, then definitely keep watching this video. And if you did enjoy it, I would very much appreciate it if you gave it a big thumbs up. And of course, if you are new around here, just why not subscribe? It is a really fun place to hang out if you want all things about entrepreneurship, personal development, and all of that fun stuff. Okay, so the reason why I actually had to get a new laptop, I actually didn't need a new laptop. I had a perfectly good MacBook Pro that I bought in 2017, so it was only about 2.5 years old. However, I use my MacBook for everything in my business. I use it to edit my videos, I use it to do all of my calls, record podcasts, create courses, like everything that I do. My MacBook is essentially my business. It's really funny because when I was traveling last year with my friend, we both had backpacks and we're like, can you believe we have our entire businesses like on our backs, in our backpacks? Because literally my laptop is my entire business. However, what actually happened was the sound stopped working on my laptop. So both through the speakers and the audio jack, there was just no sound. Now this was obviously a huge inconvenience for me because I do a lot of stuff that requires sound. I have client calls, I have group coaching calls, and I record podcasts. Now, why I wasn't able to just run down to get my laptop fixed was of course because where I am, we are still in full lockdown, meaning all of the stores are closed. So I did investigate getting my laptop fixed. However, it was probably going to be about a 2-week period that I would have to send my laptop off before I could actually get it fixed. So basically what I did, my only option was to buy a new laptop. And honestly, I'm kind of glad I did. Look, I did just go for like the absolute cheapest model that I could get. So I bought the Apple Air 2020 model in, they call it gold, but it's definitely like a rose gold. I'm really glad I got it though, because this is such a small, tiny, lightweight laptop that it's going to be really good for traveling. Now, if you watched my video that I did a little while ago about the fact that I did buy the iPad Pro, I also ended up getting the keyboard and I thought, great, this is going to be perfect for travel. However, since I've realized that the iPad doesn't actually have all of the capabilities or the way that things are set up, like program that I use for my podcast recording and a few other things. So I am actually really glad that I now have a smaller, more lightweight laptop that I will be able to use when I am traveling. So that's the reason why I did get a new laptop. I'm really happy with it. I'm actually really glad I got it. And like I said, I've never had a laptop that I've set up like I have now, and I'm really excited to show you exactly how I've personalized it, exactly how I've set it up, so that you can just make your MacBook as personalized and as organized as you can. So in just a moment, we are going to jump into my laptop. The first thing that I did on my laptop was I actually completely customized my background. So as you will know, I'm a business, I'm a brand, and I definitely have styled my entire life and my office based off of my brand. And I thought, you know what? Why not set my laptop up exactly like I've set up my office? So what I did was I actually customized my desktop background and the desktop folders using Canva. And let's jump into my laptop and I will show you exactly how I did that. This is the way that I've set up my MacBook desktop. So as you can see here, I have a completely personalized background, which is pretty simple to do. I think most people know how to change their background. However, I will show you exactly how I created this background. But what I've also done is I have personalized the images for the folders sitting on my desktop. I just wanted to create my laptop and my desktop completely personalized personalized and really reflecting my brand so that I could get into the vibe of my business every time I sat down to work. So how I created the background was I actually used a program called Canva. As you can see here, I pretty much use Canva for every single thing in my business. I absolutely love Canva. If you'd like to see a video on how exactly I use Canva, what I use it for, please do let me know. But basically what I did to create a desktop background was I simply just went to create a design, and they actually have the option to choose desktop wallpaper. So I just went for those dimensions. Then what I did was I actually just found some images on Pinterest. Because this is not for commercial use, it's for personal use. You can use any images anywhere on the internet. A lot of people like to use a vision board for their desktop background. If you'd like me to show you how to do that, definitely let me know. But I wanted to create it more reflecting my brand. So what I actually did was I just went onto the internet and I just got an image. This is not the one I used, but I'll show you just how I did it. And I just put it in the background. And then to make that kind of color of my brand, that light sort of beigey color, I just used a square, popping the square over the top and then increasing the transparency of that square. So if I chose the color, decreasing the transparency, so you could just slightly see the image in the back. But what I wanted to do was actually create my logo, or pop my logo in, which is of course just my name, Erin May Henry. And then I just of course resized that so that it would sit in the middle and changed the font to white. Honestly, that is all I did. I know it seems extremely basic, but that is exactly how I created the desktop background. Obviously, I just used a different image. As you can see here, it's like a sandy mountain kind of thing. But you can create your desktop background however you like. Like I said, you can do pictures that are representative of your vision board or of your brand or of you and your friends. Like, I think it's just really great to personalize your background so your computer feels totally yours. Now, the next thing I actually did, as you can see here, was I customized the thumbnails of the folders that sit on my desktop. Back in Canva, what I actually did was I just chose a square option. So I'm pretty sure I just chose the option for an Instagram post because it needs to, of course, be square. So I just went here and I wrote Instagram post. And then basically what I did was I just chose a colored background. So I just changed the background of the image to one of my branding colors. And then very similarly how I wrote my name, I actually just wrote the name of the image that I wanted to use, or the folder that I was using it for. So that is exactly how I created that. Now, what I will say is that you can use, rather than actually using just a plain square, what you can do is actually use some type of photo or some type of image. However, what you just want to make sure is that it does use transparent background. So there is a transparent background. So I know this is going to look completely narcissistic, but it's the only photo that I have that is a transparent background. So say I wanted to create a folder and actually use this picture of myself. As you can see, this picture doesn't have an actual background. Rather than this picture, I've taken the background out of this picture using Photoshop. But the good thing is in Canva, you can actually take the background out of the image that you want to use straight here in Canva. So you would just come into the Effects Center and say remove background. But if I wanted to actually use this image, I would never do this, but if I wanted to use this image of me as a desktop background, what I would actually do is I would download this picture and make sure that I do select transparent background. So what's going to happen is this brown color is not actually going to show up in the image. And then I would just select download. I'm just going to drop this picture onto my desktop. Then we're going to pop into desktop. And as you can see here, this picture has a transparent background. It doesn't have that brownie color. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to obviously create a new folder. Now, what I will say is make sure that if you have your desktop connected to iCloud, that you download it and just have it sitting on the desktop. I used to have my desktop sitting on iCloud, and you're not actually able to change the picture if it is sitting on iCloud. So basically what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open the image in preview, as well as open the folder that you're trying to create in Get Info. So you should have these two screens up here. Then you just want to select the image that you're trying to use as your background and press Command C. Then highlight this little folder at the top here and press Command V. that is going to change the image as you can see here. Now, obviously what I've done is I have just changed the square images rather than actually use a little picture of myself, but you can use any image. You can use little photos, you can use little squares, you can use little graphics, you can use little pictures. If you are using graphics or pictures, like I said, just make sure they do have a transparent background. So another very small customization thing that you can do is you can actually change the accent colors of the windows. So basically the way that you do this is you jump into system preferences and you go to general. In general, you'll see here you've got all of these options. I know there's not a lot of different colors you can choose from, but blue is the one that you will see usually. It's the default, it's what the computer comes with, but you can actually change it to purple, pink, red, or of course orange as I've selected, yellow, green, or gray. Just another little way that you can make the computer completely yours. It basically is just all of the little arrows that you see and of course all of the highlights whenever you're trying to select something on your computer. The next thing that I wanted to show you on my laptop was exactly how I've customized to use it for my business. So particularly the things that I want to take you through is the notification center. I also want to show you exactly how I've set up my calendar, because a lot of you do ask me that, and how I personalize my calendar, as well as how I've set up my notes feature. These are the main things that I use in my business and the main things that I actually use on my laptop. I'm really proud of the notification center, so let's jump in and take a look. The way that I've actually set up my notification center, like I said, could possibly be the most favorite thing that I have ever done. So if you didn't know, on the side of your laptop, you've actually got both a today option and a notification option. So you can actually customize this in whichever way you like so that it shows you completely bespoke options. All you need to do is click edit, and then of course you can add different items here. It will give you different items, or of course you can jump into the App Store. You can't add absolutely everything, but there are options, and of course you can delete anything that is already there that you don't want it to show. So I've customized mine in this way. At the top, it obviously shows me the date and it shows me the weather, which is something that I am extremely interested in knowing because I like to get outside at the warmest part of the day. Then of course it shows me a calendar. Now it's not my entire calendar view, it is just what is going on today. And as it goes throughout the day, it's not going to show me the entire day. It's basically going to show me just what I've got left. Then the next part that I really love is it does have reminders. So basically I always have little things drop into my head, you know, to check my client's work or to book my dog in for a haircut. And the good thing is these reminders connect with the reminders on my phone. So anytime anything pops into my head that I need to do, I can just create a quick note and then select which day I need to be reminded on. And that is actually going to come up in the reminders section here. So actually I did this yesterday, so I can tick that off. And today I just have to check some of my client's work. Basically, it's just connecting with the reminders folder that you've got here. So actually I have another reminder, which is funnily enough, book my dog's haircut, but as I haven't given it a date yet, it's not going to show up on the side. So I would just add the date today. And then if there was something else that I needed to remember, like you are a badass, and I wanted to remind myself that tomorrow, you know, a nice little love note for myself tomorrow, I would of course just quick select those dates. So this isn't for like the big tasks that you need to do. This is just for all of those little nitty gritty errands or these little nitty gritty tasks that aren't going to go in your calendar or in your project management system. These are just the little things you need to remember. And I really love that showing up, because then every day when I check this, oh, I remember today I need to book my dog in for a haircut. Another thing that I have is the world clocks. I am an international business coach, meaning that I coach people all over the world. So I really like to know what time it is when I'm setting up events, when I'm setting up calls, when I'm setting up things for my Game Changer Collective membership. I really like to know what time it actually is and what time it's going to be for my students and clients as well. The calculator, I use the calculator a lot. I don't think I need to explain what a calculator is, but I use it a lot for calculating my income, projecting income that I'm going to make in the future, launches, things like that. So I use the calculator a lot. and the weather. It also is telling me it looks like I have a busy day tomorrow. So it's not going to show me my full calendar, but it's going to give me a little summary of what I've got going on tomorrow. So the app that I use most in my business is, of course, my calendar. I have made the claim that I am married to my calendar. I absolutely love my calendar. I love the way that it looks. I love the way that I have set it up. I'm obsessed with my calendar. And I wanted to kind of show you this just quickly, how I make it all so beautiful and so colorful, and how I've actually set it up to be more productive in my business. I use the iCalendar. However, to get all of the different colors, I have connected it with Google Calendar. So this is my Google Calendar account that I've created all these individual calendars. If you would like a video on exactly how to do that, please do let me know. That might make this video a little bit too long. But in Google Calendar, I've set up all of these individual calendars. I've got events and meetings, personal development, training, which just means fitness, YouTube and content, paid programs, work and other admin, and other. So then what I actually do to set up my calendar is, of course, allocate the task to a particular calendar so that it's going to come up as an individual color. I really like this because it just helps me to get into the mindset of what I should be working on. As you can see here, the way that I've set up my calendar is my mornings are totally for me to do movement, to get ready, to do my manifesting, to do study time. If you saw my study video, I said allocate study time in your calendar to get study done. And then I work predominantly from around 11 a.m. to around 5 p.m. Now, as you can see here, there are some reoccurring tasks. I've got client calls, I've got content days. I did mention in a video that will be going up next week that I have actually broken down my calendar by CEO day as a Monday, so the day I just really get focused. I do my courses and coaching on Tuesday, Wednesday, and then I do YouTube and content on Thursdays and Fridays. So YouTube and podcasting and things like that. So this is basically the way I set up my calendar. And like I said, I use my calendar probably more than anything in my business. But I do think it is really important to set up different colors, set up different calendars, not only because it obviously looks aesthetically pleasing, but it just helps you to get in the mindset of what exactly it is that you need to be focusing on and when you need to be focusing on it. So many people ask me, how do you always have ideas for content? How are you always growing and learning so much? And the reality is, I've mentioned so many times that it's purely because I just take so many notes. If I have an idea for business, if I have an idea for content, if there's a conversation I want to record, if there's learning that I'm doing, I always am documenting it down in my notes. And that really helps me to just remember everything, because the reality is humans only have the capacity to remember a select few things in their short-term memory. So if you're in the shower and you have like a breakthrough idea and then you're like, oh, I'll remember it later, the reality is you probably won't. And so I think the Notes app that does connect with your phone and your laptop is just such a great place to keep everything in one space. Obviously, you can use Google Drive for this, you could use a journal, but the reality is I think there's no better way than to document digitally, because you could lose a journal. I just think it's really safe to have everything on Notes, because it's obviously then uploaded to iCloud and you can just access it pretty much on any device that you have available to you. So as you can see, I have my notes broken down into individual categories. So I have a business category, which has paid programs that I'm working on. I like to keep my notes very clean, and I delete notes that I no longer use, because I used to just have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of notes and it would get so messy. So I really try to keep it as minimalistic as possible. But as you can see here, I've got things that I'm working on for paid programs, big ideas, to-do lists, like daily to-do lists. I don't really use that a lot anymore. I mostly use my calendar and my reminders and things that I'm currently learning before it actually turns into like a course or anything that I'm just mulling on at the moment. I have my goals. So I of course have my goals for the year that I can always check back in on. I just have lists. This is like grocery lists of things I need to buy, lists of things I need to do. It's nothing really exciting. Podcast ideas. I have a reflections folder where basically I just love to do little notes to myself, like a little 8-week fitness challenge. This is just all like, what I can do in lockdown. So this is our like 4th lockdown or our 8 month of lockdown we're in here at the moment. So little things you can do in lockdown lockdown. You know, when I was traveling, I was feeling a bit anxious. I made a list of all the things I could do when I got back to Australia, just little things like that. These are just little like more reflection notes. I have a social media folder where of course I have caption ideas. I also have like my hashtags and things like that. But any ideas that I have for captions, I post right in here first and then I pop into my Planoly. And then of course I have a YouTube folder with just YouTube ideas, YouTube reflections, things that I've learned about YouTube, and all of that fun stuff. So the notes is something that I use a lot in my business, and I think a really great place as a content creator or as an entrepreneur to stay organized is to have one communal notes section where you can pretty much just have everything that is in your head put into one space that you can then organize into the appropriate place later on. So that is it. That is my entire MacBook organization and personalization setup. If you have any questions about anything that I've showed you here today, or if there is anything that you want me to go through in more depth, please do just let me know in the comments below. I also wanted to take this opportunity to remind you that I have a free training that if you are starting a business, I really think you are going to love. It is one of my absolute most successful trainings. It is where I teach you how to build a killer business plan, taking you through my signature ABC business model. So if you're someone who's like wanting to start a business, but you don't really know exactly where to start or what you should be focusing on, this is definitely going to be the free training for you. So I'm gonna link that down in the comments and in the description. Definitely check that one out. I really want to thank you for hanging out with me today. I so appreciate your time. I hope you enjoyed seeing inside my laptop, and I of course will see you in the next video. Bye guys.